Hello, John. Just me today. So how you doing?
Pretty good, thank you. Yeah, I'm looking up at the sunrise.
We make the most of the sun today. We must make the most of the weather today. Somebody's knocking on the window.
I didn't bring my camera, but
Yeah, we're on the 5K.
yeah.
My phone died on me as well,
I
so
actually found a really nice one that I really like. Straight down, turn around and go around like that on the same road.
oh, but it's so noisy down there. We're on the highway the whole way.
Yeah, it's not too bad, but it's, and a lot of access and really start.
Well, hopefully the weather's going to help a little bit because we're going to be running in the sunshine for the first part anyway. Yeah, I'm not so sure what's going on with Derek. His mother bought him those personal trainer things at Anytime Fitness. So he doesn't want to let her down, so he has to go. But he said he doesn't want to do 2 workouts in one day.
Oh, so he goes with it at the same time.
Well, she goes, I mean, she paid for his personal trainer.
I thought she was doing it.
No. Nice and steady today. I'm having a bit of heel problems. I don't know if it's plantar fasciitis or it could be, but it's right at the very back of my heel.
Oh, I've not had that. I had a couple of tests that are done.
Yeah.
It's the ligament that connects the heel to the rest of the foot.
So
Tendinitis.
could be. It could be plantar fasciitis.
Well, that's usually in the middle of the foot.
Yeah, but this time it's further back. So we might see Derek. He might be inside doing his weights.
Is that your thing? I just heard something.
No. I turned my phone off. It went dead on me. I should have charged it up before I came. We'll have no record, no official record.
It seems every time I take the exact same course, same start and finish, and turn around,
Yeah.
the distance just changed. It's not always the same. Is that trail going down?
Yeah.
It doesn't show there's actually a sidewalk or trail there. So basically, meanders. It's like a guess.
There might be some sort of GPS blackout as well.
So then I checked it on Google Maps. It told me exactly.
Yeah.
It also basically says to go on this road and that road to get to where you want to go.
Yeah.
But you could change it. Which I did.
You were saying you reset some of the settings. It also depends how many times it samples the distance. I think that's called sample rate. The more often it checks.
Or just do it
Yeah.
and use a stopwatch.
Yeah. Once we measured it once. Just using a chrono.
Yeah.
The old school. You remember when all we had was the old Timex? The old Iron Man. I think we rely too much on our gadgets.
Well, I do, especially now. That's my goal. And I wanted to go longer, and I got one route that's like 7.2 or so,
Yeah.
but a lot of it, some of it is on trail, which is very boggy.
Yeah, you took me on that route once. It's a good one for the summer.
Yeah.
So I had my bike serviced.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it cost me $92.
And Hillary just bought a brand new bike.
Wow.
She bought a cyclocross. And actually a really good deal. Because she was talking to him about finding it. We got to know a lot of good professional cycling stores who have what they need. And they actually double checked the main store of Rosse's, and they had specialized, I forget what it's called. It's basically
A dirt bike?
no, a regular bike that's good on the road
Yeah.
and in trails. The tire being 35 wide and disc brakes.
How much did that cost her?
Like 20, almost 25.
2,500?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
And it's the last one they had of most bikes of any type. And it was their size, 54.
Is Hillary's bike bigger than yours?
Oh yeah. Hillary's is a 54, even though her inseam says 56. And my inseam, which is 30, says 50,
Yeah.
but 52.
That's the
the
size
best,
of the
isn't it?
frame.
Yeah. But the other part depends on the geometry. So the
Oh,
54 Hillary has is her
hi.
cyclocross bike. I basically adjusted it, and I'm going to be using it. And I have for about a week now, just to get used to it.
How was your ride on Saturday?
Oh, we didn't go.
Oh. Got to take those opportunities when they come.
Yeah. Something else was going on.
Was it Lorna? Was she? Lorna was asking for too much attention?
Not just attention.
No.
And Hillary's, well, that's personal information, of course. Hillary's really helping her and assisting her with investments.
Ah.
And the first one that I came up with, which I told Hillary and kind of mentioned it to Lorna, but Lorna doesn't like the way I explain things. To buy TV stock, which Lorna did. At yesterday's closing value, Lorna's made $14,000 net income
Wow.
from the stock she bought.
I guess the market's really quite volatile at the
She
moment.
bought the majority of it at $59 a share.
Yeah.
Yesterday it closed at 71.5. And they're both, Lorna first started because Hillary suggested it. Cooper Pacific, which is business mortgages. And the commission is only 0.5% of the commission fee. They have 3 types of mortgage settings you can buy. There's the blended, there's like the short-term ones and long-term ones.
I know nothing about financing.
These guys are good because all the past history has been you gotta buy like for at least 1 year's worth. So they hold it for 1 year and use it. That's how they use the cash to lend out mortgages to businesses, like new developments. They scrutinize like you wouldn't believe.
It's pretty alarming the way the COVID thing has flared up again in Vancouver. There was something like 900 cases in one day.
I don't pay attention to that.
Well, until we get a vaccine, I think we all have to be very careful. Hi.
So which turn do you want to take? The road? Beacon?
Yeah, we'll go all the way to Beacon. That way I know it's going to be 5K.
There's some stoplight. We'll just get rid of the main one by merging to the other side of the road anytime.
Yeah.
But this side's better.
Yeah. Hi. You know that guy?
You just said hi, guys.
Yeah. He's probably seen you out and about. There is another thing that you can get on your foot is heel spurs, but I'm not sure what they are. I think they're like bony growths on your bone, and they could dig into your flesh.
Or the connections of bone to bone gets inflamed
Yeah.
or overused.
Hi.
I remember I was getting electric shock therapy. Solid ice
Hi.
for like a minute every 5 minutes.
Where was this?
Scott Simpson
Oh,
at the
yeah.
Sanishton physio place. He's unbelievable.
I know the name.
Oh yeah, he was a great runner. Semi-professional. You're doing pretty good. You haven't asked for a walk yet.
I'm thinking about my heel.
Oh,
I'm trying to keep the pace a little more conservative.
and maybe not use the heel as much.
Yeah.
Run
More on the
flat
ball.
foot.
Yeah. On the ball of my feet rather than the heel. sun feels good. Normally around this time, we start thinking about going away, but not this year. I don't
So
think
I gotta
this,
concentrate on my breathing and not talk so much.
yeah.
All of a sudden here I'm feeling, oh, but I need a lot more. I dried all 6 of the acorns washers that I use. The seeds is dried in the garage. I'll save a few for planting,
Yeah.
the rest bake. I'm acquainted and a member at large in the Society, the Pacific Celebration Society group.
Yep. What do they celebrate?
Well, a whole bunch of things, but this year almost nothing. And we had a plan for the Santa breakfast at Twin Dogs, who's also a member, but they're closed. It's closing.
So
The plan
when,
was one parent with one child, $10.
and
Two
that's-
parents and one child,
yeah.
$15 is what it costs.
And that's for Santa's breakfast.
Santa's breakfast. We had set up for 2, actually maybe even 3. 8 o'clock breakfast, 9 o'clock breakfast, and 11 o'clock brunch. Because this place has got a lot of, we've got a big banquet-like room that had a stage. That's where Santa could be. So we had it all set up.
Hi.
Boy, I needed that. Oh, good. We'll figure it out.
I guess we should wait for the light. Come on, light. Yeah. Pushing it again won't speed it up, will it?
No, just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
If there's a car turning, they get the light first.
Yeah.
If there's a car on that lane, usually there's a bike on that
Okay.
lane. Bike. This is not. Maybe yours is, 'cause of the extra metal you got.
Yeah, it's possible. I've had to get off the bike and press the button
across the street.
Yeah.
And we're just going to sidewalk. Press the button.
Yep.
Make the turn.
Hello. Thank you.
America's healthcare system is complex.
From CBC News, The World This Hour, I'm Blake Prendergast.
I am declaring a state of public health emergency in Alberta.
Alberta Premier Jason Kenney is announcing new measures to slow the spread of the coronavirus.
This pandemic is a once-in-a-century public health challenge, and it has impacted every one of us in many different ways.
Masks will now be mandatory at workplaces in Calgary and Edmonton. Indoor social gatherings will be limited to the residents of a household. Single people may still invite 2 friends over. Restaurants and bars will have to stay open, with some limits. British Columbia is shattering its COVID case numbers. Over a 24-hour period, the province reported 941 new infections and 10 new deaths. Now health officials are announcing new measures. Mira Baines reports.
At 941 new cases, the province is experiencing its highest count since the pandemic started. An outbreak was declared at Burnaby Hospital on November 9th. 5 people have died and 55 patients have tested positive for COVID-19. The health authority is also investigating 40 cases involving staff to determine whether they're connected to the outbreak. With the number of infections climbing, health officials issued more restrictions for fitness studios yesterday, temporarily suspending all group classes. It's part of an effort to stop the spread of the COVID-19 virus and reduce the pressure on the health system. On Monday, the province introduced new mask enforcement measures and extended BC state of emergency to December 8th. Mira Baines, CBC News, Vancouver.
Nova Scotia is cracking down with new measures that take effect on midnight tonight. The restrictions are targeted in the Halifax area. Kayla Hounsell has more.
Do you guys know what you want to get from the main?
Server Daniel Sinclair is one of many clamoring to get a COVID-19 test. Nova Scotia wants anyone who's been to a bar after 10 p.m. in the Halifax area to get one. That's where most of the cases are coming from, and Dr. Robert Strang, the province's chief medical officer of health, says that's exactly the point.
We believe that there's a large pool of people out there that are infected that they may not even know it themselves.
4,000 have already signed up for a new streamlined testing process for people who work in or have been to bars in the Halifax area. Long-term care facilities are closed to visitors. Gyms and restaurants are closed for 2 weeks. Malls and other shops will remain open, but at 25% capacity. And police are being given more power to enforce the gathering limit of 5 people. It's all with the hope of getting back to what has been pretty normal living in Atlantic Canada. Kayla Hounsell, CBC News, Halifax.
A deadline set by Ethiopia's prime minister is set to run out today. Abiy Ahmed is demanding leaders in the northern Tigray region state surrender. If not, he says federal troops will attack the state's capital, home to 500,000 people. The two sides have been fighting for more than 3 weeks now. In Canada, people hurt by a crime have certain rights protected by a now 5-year-old law. The right to be protected from intimidation and retaliation, to have security and privacy considered by the judicial system. But Canada's chief victims advocate says the law already needs an overhaul. Kathleen Harris has more.
About 2 million crimes are reported to police each year in Canada, but that's just about 1/3 of actual incidents. Federal Victims Ombudsman Heidi Illingworth says the majority of crimes go unreported because victims don't want to engage with the criminal justice system, or they just don't know their rights.
If they're not provided information, they don't know they have a right to participate. They don't know they have a right to seek protections or to seek restitution from the courts.
5 years ago, Parliament enacted a Bill of Rights for victims, but Illingworth says it has failed to deliver on its promises. Her progress report out today calls on the government to take steps to raise awareness and give victims more legal clout. It's also pushing for a parliamentary review of the Act. Justice Minister David Lametti says the government is committed to treating victims with courtesy, compassion, and respect, and it's working on policies to advance their rights. Kathleen Harris, CBC News, Ottawa.
And that is The World This Hour. From CBC News, I'm Blake Prendergast.
Yep.
What I'll do is get myself ready, and maybe do a warm-up, an additional K or so, 9:30.
ABC News with Sue Montgomery. The US President-elect Joe Biden has introduced key nominees to his cabinet, saying it would be a team to reunite America and lead the world to make a retreat from it. Speaking in his home state of Delaware, Mr. Biden said his administration would confront America's adversaries, but not reject his allies, a dig at President Trump's approach. He outlined what his team would bring to the new administration.
Experience and leadership, fresh thinking and perspective, and an unrelenting belief in the promise of America. I've long said that America leads not only by the example of our power, but by the power of our example. And I'm proud to put forward this incredible team that will lead by example.
He added that he would not engage in needless military conflicts, but would use the experience of working with partners to keep America safe. Joe Biden's nominee to be Secretary of State, Tony Blinken, said America needed to proceed with both humility and confidence on the world stage. He said the US had an unrivaled ability to bring other countries together, but also needed their cooperation. Avril Haines, nominated as Director of National Intelligence, the first woman to hold the post, said she would not hold back from telling him uncomfortable things.
Mr. President-elect, you know that I have never shied away from speaking truth to power, and that will be my charge as Director of National Intelligence. I've worked for you for a long time, and I accept this nomination knowing that you would never want me to do otherwise, and that you value the perspective of the intelligence community, and that you will do so even when what I have to say may be inconvenient or difficult.
An international conference for Afghanistan has pledged $12 billion in aid for the next 4 years, but the money is conditional on progress towards peace and protecting human rights. The United Nations Special Representative Deborah Lyons explained that the pledges had conditions attached.
The violence must be reduced, that a ceasefire must be achieved, that the peace talks must progress and must demonstrate progress in a timely manner, accepting that peace negotiations are complex and are time-consuming, but progress must be shown.
British leaders have agreed to allow up to 3 households to meet for Christmas. In a statement, the Prime Minister and the First Ministers of Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales said a normal Christmas wouldn't be possible with the coronavirus, but family and friends would be able to meet in a limited and cautious way. In France, President Macron announced a slight relaxation of the country's second lockdown, saying the peak had passed. BBC News. The French supermarket chain Carrefour has set up a fund to combat racism in Brazil after a black man was beaten to death by white security guards at its store in the city of Porto Alegre, prompting days of protests. João Alberto Silveira Freitas, a 40-year-old welder, was punched repeatedly by 2 guards. President Jair Bolsonaro has dismissed the racial aspect of the incident. Relatives of 29 Venezuelan migrants who were deported from Trinidad and Tobago have confirmed that they managed to return to the Caribbean nation after hours at sea. Here's Warren Bull.
Trinidad's National Security Minister, Stuart Young, told reporters that the 29 Venezuelans had entered the country illegally, were detained by police and handed over to the Coast Guard. They were then deported in 2 small boats on Sunday. A judge in Trinidad later ordered their return to the island. But concern about the migrants' whereabouts grew steadily over the following hours when they failed to arrive as expected on Venezuela's eastern coast. A Venezuelan man in Trinidad, whose wife and 2 children were among those making the voyage, said his family had reached the island safe and well, but was suffering from hunger and dehydration.
The former president of Niger, Mamadou Tanja, has died at the age of 82. He governed from 1999 till 2010, when he was overthrown in a coup after trying to stay in power beyond a 2-term limit. Beyoncé has received the most nominations for America's top music awards, the Grammys. She was nominated in 9 categories, many for her track Black Parade, released in response to the killing by a white police officer of George Floyd. Its lyrics refer to police brutality and the Black Lives Matter protests. Nikki
31.
Guyton is the first black female solo artist to be nominated in the country music category in over 4 decades. BBC News.
Almost done. What's this all about? It looks like they're trying to measure something.
No, they put something in there.
Well, there's something embedded in the ground, and that post. You wonder.
Hard to say.
It's hard to say. It might be they want to keep a track of how many cyclists go by. Hello. Hi. Thank you. I can almost see my bike from here. Well, I haven't been talking very much today. I've been thinking about what to do with this recording. I think I'll find something semi-interesting to layer under this recording, just to give you something to listen to. Hello. Thank you. So we made it.
I really like this water bottle system way better Then the small little one was like, the pocket.
Yeah.
You see, that's not your glove.
No.
That's been there a long time.
I know. It's been there at least 2 weeks.